What is up, everybody? My name is Ruby, and welcome back to this week's episode of Ruby's Final Score. If you're new here, basically each week I go over the top sports headlines and give you guys my opinions of everything that's going on. So let's get right into this week's episode of Ruby's Final Score. So the NFL playoff divisional rounds were nothing short of exciting, and I've got the full recap for you all right here. Alright, first up we had the Green Bay Packers versus the LA Rams. Now, going into this, I was a firm believer in the underdogs, and I thought that the Rams would win, but after seeing how the Packers played, I quickly changed my mind. Honestly, even though the game wasn't too crazy, with the Packers winning 32-18, I just enjoyed watching them play. This team has everything together, and it's so refreshing and entertaining seeing how the teamwork is put to use. I don't know. All I'm saying is that after this game, I decided that I'm going with the Packers to win the Super Bowl. I love Aaron Rodgers, and he's having the best season of his career since being drafted in 2005. Plus, he just deserves to be named MVP, and he deserves another ring. The most entertaining part of this game definitely was watching the Packers' powerhouse offense. Running back Aaron Jones rushed for 99 yards, including a 60-yard run to get the Packers to the Rams' 15 and a touchdown. Receiver Allen Lazard had 98 receiving yards and an amazing 58-yard touchdown, along with Davante Adams with 66 receiving yards and a touchdown as well. Aaron Rodgers himself had a rushing touchdown, the first done by a quarterback in a playoff game at Lambeau Field since the '67 Ice Bowl. Packers defense also had a great performance, sacking Jared Goff 4 times, and the O-line also stepped up, not letting the Rams get to Rodgers at all. A big factor that played into this game was Rams star defensive tackle Aaron Donald, who was limited due to a rib injury after last week's Seattle matchup. Rams star receiver Cooper Kupp was also out due to a knee injury. With that win, Green Bay is one step closer to the Lombardi Trophy, and the Rams are out. Next up, the Ravens and the Bills faced off, and we saw the classic playoff Ravens return as the Bills won 17-3. The game was honestly a mess for the Ravens. Lamar threw an interception, they had 0 touchdowns, and the Bills sacked him 4 times. His interception was an end zone interception that turned into a pick 6 as Bills cornerback Taron Johnson tied the record for the league's longest return, running for a 101-yard touchdown. The Bills' defense came out super strong and dominated this game, holding Baltimore, the top rushing team, to only 150 yards. A factor that did affect the Ravens was that at the end of the third, Lamar did have to exit the game with a concussion. The Bills' offense played decent, with quarterback Josh Allen passing for 206 yards and a touchdown, but like I said, they really wouldn't have been able to win this game without their defense playing like they did. With this win, the Bills are in the AFC Championship game for the first time since '94, with a chance of making it to the Super Bowl. Our other AFC matchup was between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns. Riding off of a high from crushing the Steelers the week before, the Browns were confident going into this game, but the Chiefs got the best of them, winning 22-17. I'm just going to jump right into the obvious best part of this game, Chad Henne. So Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes had to exit the game due to concussion, which meant 35-year-old backup quarterback Chad Henne had to enter the game with a trip to the AFC Championships on the line. The Chiefs got the ball back with 4 minutes left and had to drive down the field long enough to not let the Browns get the ball back, all with the help of Henne. Andy Reid had full trust in him, and on a 3rd and 14th actually had him run, and it worked. He rushed 13 yards just short of the first down and dove headfirst to the ground. On a crucial 4th and 1, they decided to go with trusted receiver Tyreek Hill, and Henne threw the perfect pass to pick up the first and win the game. The sports world exploded in support for Henne after seeing this performance, with NFL players tweeting #anythingispossible and complimenting his game. Before getting injured, Mahomes also played a great game, passing for 255 yards and a touchdown to Travis Kelce, along with a rushing touchdown himself. This game did have a huge controversial moment though. With a minute 40 left in the first half, Baker Mayfield passed to receiver Rashard Higgins, who was about to score a touchdown that would have put the Browns in a way better position going to half. As he dove to the end zone, he fumbled the ball into the end zone and out of bounds, resulting in a touchback for the Chiefs. The controversial part, though, was Chiefs safety Daniel Sorensen had an obvious head-to-head hit on Higgins that didn't get called. Watching it back, I completely understand why Browns fans are pissed. I don't even like the Browns and I'm mad about this call. There's just no way that this wasn't head-to-head targeting, and the fact that the refs didn't call it, well, let's just say there are a lot of unhappy Browns fans right now. The Browns played a decent game, with Baker throwing a touchdown pass to Jarvis Landry and Kareem Hunt to rush in for a 3-yard touchdown that brought the Browns into a one-possession game with a hope that they could win, but their defense really let them down this game. The Browns were forced to punt with 4 minutes left in the game, and the defense couldn't stop the Chiefs to allow them to get the ball back and try to drive for a final winning score. With this, their hopes of making it to the AFC Championship game ended. Last up, we had the NFC face-off featuring two of the league's greatest and oldest quarterbacks, Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Up until the fourth, this was one of the most evenly matched games I've ever seen, with each team keeping up with each other the whole way and still being tied 20-20 at the end of the third. Previously in the season, the Saints had beat the Bucs by double digits twice, but Tom Brady took the phrase "third time's a charm" to heart, beating the Saints 30-20 and sending his team to the NFC Championships. Drew Brees did not have a good game, passing only 1 touchdown but 3 interceptions, and the Bucs used that to their advantage, turning 3 of the Saints' 4 turnovers into touchdowns on the following drives. Unfortunately, this loss might have been the last time that we'll ever see Brees play. After an amazing 15-year career, Brees didn't comment on whether or not he'll be retiring, but the evening left everyone throughout the league very reminiscent on his successful career. While running off the field after the game, he took one look back onto the stadium, and I don't know about you guys, but this moment had me tearing up. After the game, his wife and kids were the last ones on the field, just taking it all in. There was one moment in the game that really stuck out though, and that was the Jameis Winston trick play. Former Bucs quarterback who left for the Saints when Brady was picked up threw a 56-yard touchdown pass in the second quarter to help his team take the lead. Running back Alvin Kamara took the snap and gave the ball to receiver Emmanuel Sanders, who then passed it back to Winston, who threw it to Smith deep downfield. It was a great play, super fun to watch, and I bet it felt great for Winston to complete a trick play like that against his old team. So coming up this Sunday, we've got our final 2 championship games before the big day in early February. The Chiefs will take on the Bills, sure to be a good game, but we're still unsure if Patrick Mahomes will be in. He participated in limited practice this week, but is still on the league's concussion protocol list. If Mahomes doesn't play, I think that the Bills will win and make it to the Super Bowl. Henny was great last game, but I'm just not sure how he'd perform playing the full 60 minutes, especially with the Chiefs' defense against the Bills' offense. If their defense can't hold the Bills, then Henny or whoever's in as quarterback will have a lot of ground to cover to keep up. I'm super excited to watch this matchup though, and we'll see who takes it all. For the NFC, we've got Rodgers and the Packers taking on Brady and the Bucs, another game with 2 of the league's greatest quarterbacks. I think that this game will end up being super competitive and hopefully a fun one to watch. Like I said earlier, I'm calling the Packers taking this and moving on to win the Super Bowl, but we'll see. Anything can happen, especially with Tom Brady and another trip to the Super Bowl, one at his home field, on the line. Unfortunately, the clock has run out for this week's episode of Ruby's Final Score. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below so you never miss an update. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for Ruby's Final Score.